Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a video, or another video in the series, The Road To. And today we're on the road to Waipatiki. Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Goose. Welcome to my channel, Loose with Goose. So as you can see on the map there, it's only a short ride, it's only about 40 odd minutes, and at the top of the map you might have noticed some really wiggly stuff, so it's pretty good biking road. So we work our way out of Napier at the moment, and just going past the old road bridge, and a lot of bikes on the road. I filmed this on the Friday, and this is on the weekend of the International Female Ride Day, which was the following day on the Saturday, and we had about 250 bikes turn up here in Napier, so it was a great showing. I met a few of them when I was gassing up at Bayview, and brilliant people. So here we are, just crossing the Esk River, across the Esk Bridge, and from here we'll go down and out onto the flats, the coastal flats just north of Napier. You can see that bit of steam ahead of us on the left-hand side. Well, that's the Panpack pulp mill, which is quite a big employer here in Hawke's Bay. And then of course this golden jewel, this wow factor that we have on the right hand side, that's the Pacific Ocean, and just up on the right there you can see the Tongoia headland, and where we're going is about another 10k further up, I suppose, out on the coast. We follow a ridge line up through there. A few breakers you might see just out there on the right hand side. There's a reef running in there, and we have been known to get the odd mussel from out of there, which is really nice. Stunning colours here again. Hawke's Bay still got its autumn colours on, and makes it absolutely beautiful riding. And here we are coming up to our turn off now, the little cemetery there on the left hand side. So we're turning off here to the right, and there on the left is the Tongoia Marae. So a few hundred metres further up we come to a T-section. If you go to the right you go down to the Tongoia beach, but we're heading left, and that takes us on the road to Waipatiki. Now Waipatiki is it's an interesting little settlement. It's been around for centuries. Pre-European Māori used it a lot, and the name Waipatiki, from what I can gather, Wai meaning water, and Patiki meaning sand flounder. So the valley itself was an estuarine valley back in the day, until the 1931 earthquake. And then the land heaved up a whole 6 feet, almost 2 metres, and that sort of put paid to that, and it now has a stream running through it, and that's how it's been developed since. But back in the day, Māori used to fish it quite a lot, and it's a beautiful little valley there now. But here we are, we're just climbing up the ridge. As I may have mentioned before, there are 6 hairpins on this road, so it's a great road for 2 wheels, more than 3 possibly, but it's a great road on the trike as well. It's very busy during the summer. There's a local population that lives out there. There'll be a couple of hundred people there pretty much all year round, but when it comes to summertime and holiday time, the place just gets absolutely ram-packed, and it's a beautiful sandy beach. So as we climb up this ridge, we follow this ridge all the way along actually. We get up to the top of it and ride the Razorback along. But the stunning scenery either side of it, forestry and rolling country, some pastoral land out to the left. Out to the right you'll get glimpses of the Pacific Ocean. And just thinking that if you kept going east, the next stop would be Chile in South America. So there's the Pacific Ocean, you can see out on the left there. Sorry, my other left, that's out to the right. And today's verse comes from Matthew chapter 5 verse 6. This is from the Sermon on the Mount. And verse 6 says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." Good verse that. Now just coming back to a little bit of the history in Waipatiki. Very rich in history, both pre-European and after the settlers came. There's one of the roads that they put in there. That is the Waipatiki Settlement Road, and that joins us up the State Highway 2 at the top of Devil's Elbow. But going back on the history here, when the settlers came in, they cleared a bit of the country and they started to farm it. And to get their wool out, they had to load it up on the carts and take it down to the beach, where they'd either have to drive the carts into the surf, and the longboats would come in off the schooners and pick up the wool bales and take it back out again, which was pretty dangerous, or the flat-bottom scows, and there was hundreds of these trading around New Zealand waters. The last of them, I think, disappeared in around the mid-1960s. But what we're talking here is in the late 1800s, and the scows would come in and they'd beach themselves during the tide, at low tide, and the tide would go out and the farmers would bring their wagons down and offload them onto the scows, and then they'd float off again on the next tide and take them off to Auckland or Wellington to be sold. Now some of these farmers were pretty isolated, and as well as the wool going out, sometimes it was the only way they got their supplies to come back in again too. So it was a fairly hard life up in here. Wow, just look at that scenery. Well worth the ride out here just for that, let alone going to the beach. And this is one of those real wow factors. It doesn't pop quite so much today, but when there's really, really blue sky, this Waipatiki just down ahead of us there, and you get a stunning blue sky and an absolutely deep, brilliant blue sea with the surf coming in. The hardest thing there is to keep your eyes on the road instead of going over the bank, but the scenery is absolutely beautiful. So this is the last descent coming down the other side of the ridge. And we're coming into the second to last hairpin bend. So this is the final ascent down to the valley, and coming down into the last of the hairpins. You can see straight ahead of us there's some regrowth native. Across to the right is the exotic, the pine trees, etc. A lot of willow, etc. down below as we get down into the valley and down by the creek. On the left-hand side there's a reserve. A great walking track through there. If you're a photographer or a bird lover, there's some good bird life in there and some great photographs to be taken. Nice walking track, it's quite an easy track, and a very good stand of Nikau palms. Great way to spend an afternoon. And just to the right here, there's the Waipatiki holiday camp. And again, very busy during the summer, so if you want to come out, make a few bookings. I'm sure they'll be glad to see you, especially in these almost post-COVID days. Across a little one-way bridge, and the stream cuts from our left over to our right-hand side, and then we follow it from there all the way through to its confluence, which isn't that far actually, it's only a couple of kilometres before it joins the Pacific Ocean. So there we just go around to the right hand side here. Over to the left there's the village, a lot of holiday homes and batches, and there's a small permanent population here. But almost down to the parking area now, there's some ablutions there and a toilet. So there we are. We take a walk up the beach here. There's the northern headland there, and going off both headlands, the north and the south, there's walking tracks. You may need to get some information whether they're still open or whether they're dependent on tide or not. But there's some great walks across through there. But it's a beautiful beach, a lovely stand, and as you can see, you can understand why it gets very, very, very busy, especially during the summer period. There we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed the ride with me. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to ride free. And of course, God bless.